Hello! I've come on early today because we have some things to do when David gets home from work. So I figured that I would just get it done now. So I hope everyone's okay. Your bathtubs and your pipes and the shower heads are looking so good. You have no idea. Miles is just going to sleep. So I've got a good 30 minutes to hang out. What we're going to do today is we're going to do a bit more talking than we're going to do stitching. And today we're going to do the floor here. So actually it goes by really fast. I just want to talk through some of the options. So right off the bat, before we get started, just in case you already know what I'm talking about and you just want to go ahead and do it, we're going to take, you can choose one color or two colors, it doesn't matter. The bare minimum today is we're going to take 6 strands and we're going to take and do long stitches this way, then long straight stitches this way. And then at every single intersection, we're going to make a little plus sign where they intersect. So that means here, we'll make a really small one, straight stitches, one up, one across. And then for every single one of these, we're going to do a little plus sign, okay? All 6 strands for all of it. You can use 2 colors, you can use 1 color. There's lots of options. So let me just talk through some of the options already. So you know we're going to do a split stitch for this part here. What you can do is you can go to the way back to November when we did this stitch along. And we're using the same kind of idea here at the bottom. I'm just not doing the satin stitch underneath. So if you didn't paint your fabric and you think, actually, I would like it to be a bit more full at the bottom because the top is going to be a plain color of fabric, meaning you didn't paint any of your fabric, and you're going to have the stitched flowers on top. And maybe you feel like the bottom would be really nice to be all filled in. You can go ahead and do your satin stitch all the way through, all the way. So draw your guidelines on and stitch the entire thing with a satin stitch. I did 6 strands on here. I might have done 4 strands actually, but I'm pretty sure it was all 6. And then you're going to do your lines on top of that. And this is how they look when they're all done. So you've got your straight lines here and then your little plus sign over each intersection. Okay. The other thing that you can do is actually not do these lines like this. I've got the checkerboard on there because you could do every other one satin stitch with a different color checkerboard. So you could do like a black and white or like a seafoam green and pink or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's literally every other one, like a chessboard or a checkerboard. Yeah, or you can just do like what we're going to do and just do a plain one. So that's totally fine. If you're super advanced and you're like, actually, I feel like I want something else, but I just don't know what it is. And please don't feel bad if you're like, I'm just going to do the bare minimum. You totally can. I think it's going to look really great. Here it is. We actually did an autumn stitch along. Hello. Lots of people have said hello and I haven't said any hellos yet. You can actually do this one, which is what we did for the blanket of this. Hi, George. See? And I think that will look really cute too. But you're going to need 4 different colors for that. And I didn't want to pick 4 different colors. I've just got this one because I think this is going to look really nice and plain so that the flowers can kind of like shine a bit more. But it depends on what you want to do. Okay? Hi, happy Wednesday. So there we go. We do have a video for this, and it's the autumn stitch along from last year. I'll link it in my stories, and just in case you want to do just this one. Okay. So today I'm going to do just the straight stitch lines, and then the plus signs over top. And I think I'm going to do the straight stitches, either in this pinkish color that's almost the same color as my background. Or I've got this like white yellow color. I think I might do the pink and then do these right here as the plus signs. Nem says that, or you could do really fancy Moroccan tiles and someone said, so you are going to do the Moroccan tiles now? Someone's got to do it. I also picked this really light green because I thought maybe it might tie in with the top, like these two colors, but then I thought maybe this one would be like a different color to bring in. So here we go. I'm going to make an extra long. And just to be clear, that's not my baby crying in the background. I'm very close to a school, and they clearly have recess right now because I can hear them playing outside. Every single time I'm like, oh man. Oh, we've got a vote for the green. Dem says, I never finish my Christmas or autumn ones. Life gets in the way. I'm not going to lie. Okay, what I would suggest is doing all one direction first and then going back and doing all the other direction second. It doesn't actually matter which way that you do it. Meaning like you could do this one and then that one and then this one and then that one and then that, you know what I mean? Like you could just go wherever it takes you. But yeah, I quite like to do it all the same because then it makes it so that I've got some order. So this is going to look really loose and you're going to think, oh, I'm doing it wrong. You're not. It's fine. You better get on it. Maybe you can finish this upcoming autumn and Christmas. That's true. You can finish it in time for this autumn and Christmas. Just doing all of the left to right ones first. I think I left my drink in the other room. Devastated. I'm about to run and go get it. I also need to list the Advent Christmas patterns because another Advent calendar is coming around. And I said that I would list last year's Advent Christmas patterns. Well, some of them are Christmas. Some are just anytime patterns in the summer so that people could get started if they wanted to. Okay, and now we're going to go the other way. Yes, Advent calendar. Because now I'm actually one Advent calendar. I use like one of those random generators online. And so you just put in like the link to the post. And then you put in like your stipulations. And it will pick a winner. And I swear to goodness, I like squealed. I was like, oh my God. That's so exciting. When the winner was picked. Okay. I'm going to jump up here actually because I want this to be a nice. Yeah, actually, he was trying to decide if I should put it down here or if I go right next to it. I should probably put it down, hey. Yeah, then the next day I got $50 for Lovecraft, so it was like paying it back in a way. That's so true. I'm actually waiting for them to email me about that. So I haven't got an email yet. Actually, I was going to ask if he wanted to like split it. To do like... Because I didn't do anything to win that. The sound didn't go. I'm just concentrating on my lines. So it's just all 6 strands, long straight stitches. It almost looks like there should be another one right here, so we'll see about that when we're done. A big thing in embroidery, I think, is balance. So you don't want to have like too much going on at the top and not enough at the bottom, or too much at the bottom and not enough at the top. Oftentimes I'll fill in one section and then leave another section a bit more empty, just so that it kind of like balances it out. The other thing is sometimes if I feel like there needs to be the whole thing filled, then I will fill the whole thing. So it's kind of like a personal preference thing, like what you like. There's been a lot of embroideries that I've seen that look amazing, completely filled in, meaning they fill the whole hoop in. So there's no fabric showing at all. And other times I'll look and I'll think, oh, do you know what? If that was just a little bit less filled in, it would be a little bit nicer, I think. But again, it's all personal preference. So if I think, oh, it might be nicer if this, you may think, no, I think it's amazing how it is. And that is completely fine. Like, don't let someone say, oh, do you really think you should do that? When you think, yeah, I should do that because I love it. I think it's going to look great. Then do it. And the worst that can happen is you'll take it out. So, like, you know? But it's nice to have a nice balance of negative space and positive space. And sometimes it's nice to have a completely filled in hoop. And sometimes it's nice, I know I'm saying sometimes a lot, but it's completely true. Num says there's a time and a place for full coverage. Yes. Like in the sun. Not me making a stupid joke. Yeah, or it can just depend on the stitches for sure. I think sometimes when you've got too many texture-rich stitches all together, sometimes it like pulls away from what you want it, how you want it to look, or giving that like aha moment, you know? Okay, now for all of these, we're just going to do a little plus. So 1 down, 1 over. I like to do the same method for each one. Not method, the same like steps for each one, you know what I mean? So like if you do your up and down first, do your left to right second, so that each one of them are matching. So it literally looks like a tile that's been placed down. Because you know, sometimes you see those tiles and like one of them is turned the wrong way and you're like, oh my God, if they would have just fixed that. It just needs to be fixed. Sometimes it can look like that, especially if you've got the same thing over and over and over and they don't match perfectly. Perfectly is probably the wrong word too, because there's no perfect. Nothing's perfect here. Okay, so I'm going to go up and down first and then left to right. So I'm going to start on this one. I'm just making a small little plus sign, a little tacking stitch. Yeah, just like a cross stitch. Definitely like cross stitch. And you can totally see in cross stitch when someone does like this way and then this way. And then the next one they do this way and then this way on the top. And the threads are laying in a different way. You're always a bit like, oh, I can just see that. Why? And you can make these quite big if you want, or you can make them smaller. Completely up to you. I went with the light color thread. Total pet peeve of mine. That's what Nem said. I think it's one of those things that once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then you just keep looking at that one place, you know, that one area that's just a little bit different or like a little bit not matching. And you're like, oh, crikey. So we're just moving along. Very simple, but very effective. And then obviously these lines here that you can see, they will be erased with the hair dryer when you're all done. So it doesn't matter if you can see a little bit now. But these tacking stitches are going to tack them down right where you put them. So don't do too, like willy-nilly, like, oh, this one can be this far over and this one can be that far over. Because sometimes you can like change where the line goes. Okay, so she says, for the Christmas rug, you said you completely covered the area with satin stitch first and then added your lines. Yes. So this right here is all satin stitch, and you add your lines over top. And then obviously, if you cover your area with satin stitch first, you're going to lose the space where you put the lines. So all we did was go this way over top and this way over the bottom, and then here as well. And we just connected those lines afterwards. I'm pretty sure that I explained that in the video as well, so I'll share that in my stories when I'm finished here, just in case you want to have a look and do it that way. Is that all right? Yes, thank you. Not a problem. I just know that some people, they like things a certain way. And that doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. It just means that that's what they prefer. So sometimes I think as you're stitching, if you think, do you know what would look good? This. And I've done it so many times in the stitch along, like even in the live stitch along videos, I'll say, do you know what would look really good? This. And then I just can't not do it. So obviously I have to take it out, what I've done, and stitch that, because sometimes you just get an idea and you just think, oh, that would be so cool. I'm going to do it that way. This can get a bit repetitive, but it is worth it in the end. And these really help to stick those threads down. So these over here are quite loose, and then after they're stuck down, they're like stuck down to the fabric and they don't move. Don't you dare wake up. I still have time. Pleading with the child through the monitor, isn't it? See? There he is. I don't know if you can see that because it's so bright. But yeah. So I got some little books for him in the Amazon Prime sale. Not a huge fan, but he's ruining all the board books with the putting them in his mouth and all the slobber. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to get those indestructible ones. The color choices are so elegant. I would toss a bath bomb and relax there any day. Doesn't it look so nice? Like I wish my bathroom looked like this. We actually redid our bathroom a couple years ago. And I feel like I would still choose the same ones, but I probably would go a little bit more bold with some of the things. Like it's very like white and gray, because I thought we probably won't stay here forever. And I don't want to get something like too wild in case we sell. I don't know why I was thinking that, because like we love our house. But it's not like a living room where you can like put some fun throw pillows on it, you know, or some fun blankets. Like a bathroom, like the tile kind of always stays that color. Let me just move it over. Oh, come on. I've got to redo my nails tonight as well because I've chipped one off. I hate picking fingernail polish colors. I want to do all of them. Add fun in the bathroom with paint. Yes. So like because everything's like pretty much white, I totally could paint. I could totally paint the bathroom. So we've got tile on 2 walls. And then we've got 2 1.5 walls. It's so small. Woo woo. Okay. There we go. All of these are 6 strands. I've just pulled that quite tight by the edge, so make sure if you do that, you actually pull your fabric as well, just to tighten that up again. Anthropologie has the coolest shower curtains. Do you know what? We need a new shower curtain as well. We just got a plain white one, but it's like a fabric one. And because it's like a woven fabric one, the door, you know, that little thing that comes out of the door, like when you turn the handle, it's like the catch or whatever that like closes the door. It's quite sharp and it keeps snagging it. So it's like snagged a bunch and it's driving me crazy. Okay. Let's zoom out. And this is what we've done. Ta-da! The other thing is, if you are getting a little bit like, ooh, I don't like to see these lines or whatever, you can always heat up like a spoon. I use a grapefruit knife because I think it's like the perfect shape. But you can heat up a spoon or a fork or a knife on the stove, or you can just light it with a lighter. I don't have a lighter, but you can heat that up and then just go over those little areas to erase them if you really want to, if you feel like, I just don't know if I like it or not. Because sometimes when you're looking at it and you see all the marks, you're like, I just don't know. So yeah, you can do that if you're like, I just want to see what it looks like without those extra double lines there, you know? Because if you use a hairdryer, you could erase all the top of this. We don't want to do that. So good afternoon, Veronica. Actually, I'm finished now. I'm all done. Goodness. Okay, so I'll share the video from this stitch along here in my stories, and that will show you how to do this one with it's the exact same thing I showed you, except there's a satin stitch underneath. So if you want to see the whole thing again, then I'll share that. Obviously, you can watch this one. You could also do something like the basket of flowers stitch along, where we did like the every other one different. You could do them different directions with the same color like this. It gives a different kind of look. Or you could do them totally different colors, so it would look like more like a checkerboard. And it doesn't have to be black and white either. You could do like a cream and like even these 2 colors would look quite nice as a checkerboard, just because they're muted and it goes with the background without being too like bam in your face. But that's a lot of satin stitching. So it depends on how much time you've got, and it depends how you want it to look. So yeah, the easy peasy way is this way. And if you want to add a little bit more, you can add a little bit more. Or you can go full on nem and do Moroccan tiles. I'd love to see it. I really would. All right, well, that's it for me. I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely day. be sure to tag me at the Barmy Fox in your stories or in your posts on the grid. And that way I can share them. And use the hashtag the Barmy Fox SAL, especially in your grid posts, because then they'll all be together when you go to the hashtag. And you'll see all of them there. So enjoy. I cannot wait to see what you do with the floor. And I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Bye.